If he says, I don't mind providing, if you stay home to cook, clean, and take care of the kids, then honey, he minds. That is not a provider. That is a traditional man.
Wait, what? What's the difference? Isn't this what women are asking for? A traditional man is providing for the woman so that she can stay home and take care of the house and the children.
It makes me really sad when I see girlies think that they found a provider just because he's offering financial support in the future. Like, I hear things all the time that's like, oh, he's gonna make partner one day so I can be a stay-at-home mom, or he's gonna retire me when I have kids. They don't understand that his financial support is in exchange for household labor, whether or not she's happy doing it, because he's now financially providing.
Oh, how terrible. Do you mean to tell me that a man is expecting some form of labor in return for the lifestyle that he's providing to you? How dare he expect reciprocity in a relationship? Clearly, this lawyer who's going to make partner one day is just a dusty who doesn't deserve a queen like you.
Because he's now financially providing. That's why a lot of women say to avoid this, because you become financially dependent and that's not a good spot to be in.
Okay, sarcasm aside, I'm not really sure how you're less dependent on a man if you stay at home and do chores while he provides, versus stay home and watch TV all day while he provides. In both cases, you're dependent, except the woman who can cook and clean is actually showing work ethic, and if she does a good job managing children, then she's also showing leadership skills. Tell me, which is less risky? The girlie who can lead and get to work, or the girlie who sits on the couch all day? Sure, they both don't have income, but I can imagine the one who does return labor for her man would have a lot less difficulty finding money should the relationship go bad. That is, of course, unless this TikTok creator is working a job and suggesting that his money is their money and goes to paying for everything in the relationship, and her girl boss money is her money, meaning that she pockets everything while doing no additional housework that would relieve him of some of his workload, which is really unfair. As a guy, you would have to be stupid to accept that deal. But I digress. Welcome to TikTok cancer. And I mean that. This section of TikTok is literally a poison for women that takes traditionalism and wraps it into some sort of sociopathic relationship where the women insist that the men be boxed into a specific provider role while the girlies can do whatever they want while providing very little or nothing in return. And it's not just Nadine here who's saying this stuff. It's a pretty common trend.
Yes, it's true. I'm a stay-at-home girlfriend, so I'm gonna show you guys what I did today. My boyfriend does leave me money, a little extra, so I could pay off my credit cards because credit is everything. Then I got some Starbucks. Then I went to Zara. Then I went to H&M just to see what they had. Then I got a new phone. Then I got another coffee. Then I went to Ulta. Those cookies are so fucking good. Then I went to the gym with Jay. And then I got home, cut up some fruit, made some dinner, and yeah, that's all I did.
I said this before in a live stream already, but wow. Stay-at-home girlfriend is one hell of a way to rebrand Sugar Baby, which is just a rebrand of escort, which is just a rebrand of, you know. And the reason I make that distinction is because as far as I can see, these girlies aren't providing any labor into their relationship. He works to pay off her debts while she goes shopping all day and buys what looks like a lot of junk food. Yeah, sure, she spent 5 minutes cutting up some fruit and maybe 30 minutes to an hour making whatever this lump of food is. But how is that equivalent to the 50 to 60 hour work week that it takes to provide luxury items that are fully a waste of money, like a Louis Vuitton bag? Or, for those of you who actually thought the wizard Liz was a financial guru who can teach women how to be financially successful and independent, here's a TikTok she recently uploaded with an entitled look on her face where she is basically admitting that her boyfriend pays for everything. For the people who watched my video on her, I told you she's lying about how financially successful she is from her own efforts. But ultimately, what this is yet another form of hedonism and lazy people trying to find ways to justify not working or doing their fair share, which is a lifestyle that in my experience makes no one happy long term and very often leads to addiction. Except it's worse because these TikTok girlies are trying to spread their pathological ideology to other women on the internet and promote it as virtuous and aspirational, when in reality, it's a bunch of women asking for free handouts just like the woke mobs do. Imagine glamorizing being the equivalent to a welfare flunky. Though if you've been paying attention to social media recently, then you'll know that the people who constantly push for fame and easy living are quite often the least virtuous, the most narcissistic, and the most sociopathic people, especially when their personal lives get exposed. That being said, let's get back to Nadine's video and have her tell us what a provider is.
But I want to make this very clear. These kind of men are not providers. Providing is not just about money. A provider is someone who is considerate enough to ask their partner what they need and they're committed to providing that for them. So let's say she wants to stay at home to cook, clean, and take care of the kids, and she's happily doing so. Fine. But if one day she doesn't want to do that anymore and she wants to go back to work, or she wants to start her own business, or she wants to pursue her hobbies, a provider is someone who is fully supportive of her.
That sounds like this provider is getting finessed. You agreed to a particular arrangement and you're just like, nope, I'm not going to stick to what I said I was going to do. Have fun overpaying for daycare and coming home to a dirty house because I decided to chase my hobbies instead. Do you guys want to know how you're listening to a sociopath? She doesn't ever flip her words around and see how it would feel if someone did that to her. Imagine if I came into the relationship as a lawyer who was going to make partner, but one day just decided, Nadine, I'm tired of working 70 hours a week to buy you luxury purses, so I decided that the most fulfilling thing for me to do is chase my dreams to become a professional Fortnite player. Nadine is like a girl boss software engineer or a billionaire secretary or something. Surely she can afford to take care of a man who's just trying to live his best life, right? Oh wait, I know she wouldn't put up with a guy doing that because she constantly belittles men who want to split the bills 50-50 with passive-aggressive statements like this.
Here's a hot take. I feel like most guys are providers. They just don't know it yet until they meet their dream girl, including that 50-50 guy. He'll want to be with her. He'll want to give her the best things. He'll want to take care of her. Go ahead and do you. But having high standards is a direct correlation to how much we love ourselves. It's always the 50-50 pick-me-shows who are really mean to spoiled girlies and how we choose to live our life. Like, we know the value that we bring and how we want to show up and the kind of man we want to be with and the kind of life we want to have while they're still on the struggle bus.
Okay, so if you think it's insulting for a guy to want to split the bill, then don't you think he might think it's insulting that he is expected by you to pay for everything? But on the other side of it, if he has any expectations, it's considered offensive and out of line. We're right back at feminism saying every preference men have is misogynistic. I mean, she constantly makes incredibly selfish and one-sided statements, just like modern feminists do.
This is one of those things where I feel like you just need to take my word for it so you don't have to go through it yourself. But the biggest gaslight for women ever is that struggling to build together or being his day one somehow makes us more attractive. And I think as women, we really need to stop with this narrative that the willingness to be poor to stick by his side and build with him is going to make us more loved and cherished, because it doesn't. I need you to burn this into your head. There is no reward for struggling together. You have to always be your number one priority.
But he has to date you on potential? He has to just cross his fingers and hope you uphold your end when you would never give him that courtesy? I mean, look at the comment that Nadine got triggered by. This guy's not even asking for much. It says, I don't mind paying for your bills, but could you at least clean or something? He doesn't even want anything in specific. He just wants some kind of reciprocity for what he does. And Nadine is like, nope, this guy's a loser.
So if he's negotiating with you that he will only provide when you guys have a family and you guys have kids, and he's not doing anything else to show you that he wants to do things for you, then run, baby girl, run.
So then how are you showing that you're going to be a good partner during this time? Because I would give the same advice to guys. Why would you give a woman your labor if she isn't going to give you any of hers? Of course, the one-sidedness of her statement is completely lost on her, as Nadine says this in response to critique.
Girlies, the kind of men you want to be with are not on TikTok on a Wednesday afternoon commenting mean, rude, nasty things on other women's videos because they can't possibly comprehend that other kinds of relationships exist.
Other kinds of relationships? You mean relationships where women are super manipulative? You mean relationships where women act like parasites and take advantage of guys who can't stand up for themselves? Yes, guys are aware that those relationships exist. And if it wasn't messed up, then this comment here wouldn't be asking the TikTok algorithm to hide these videos from men. Honestly, I can't believe your boyfriend puts up with you and then lets you advertise on the internet about how you treat him like crap.
I think I get so much hate because I show other women how to recognize her worth and what's possible for her and to not settle for less, that she can be so loved and cared for, that there are other girlies who are being showered with acts of service, who are being spoiled and provided for in more ways than just financially.
So you're basically saying that guys should have no standards. Meanwhile, you expect to get a top 1% guy who pays all your bills and buys you luxury bags for a woman he isn't even married to, and also for a woman who Nadine is basically telling to provide nothing in return. And I'm not kidding. Despite saying that women should have the most impossible standards on the planet because mathematically, 99% of women aren't going to be able to find a guy who can afford the lifestyle she's promoting. So despite that, she's telling men who are way above average to lower their standards and date average women.
Can I just say how happy I am to see more and more normie spoiled girlies? Like before, it might have been aspirational because we just see these ultra luxury couples and the girls who are being spoiled are all these stereotypically attractive ones. So it didn't seem that attainable. But now we just see everyday normal couples. Guys are so loving, so caring, so attentive, so sweet, and their relationship is just like so cute. Now all of a sudden the girls are like, wait, I want that. That's everything goals. Why don't I have that for myself? And honey, you absolutely can. Just stop dating dusties and guys that you have to convince to be a certain way. Date the ones who are already convinced that you're worth it.
Yes, that's called being manipulative because that's the only way you can get a guy who's giving his best when you don't give your best. Again, I don't think this girl has one empathetic bone in her body because I've never seen her take the perspective of what men might want, which in the most generous interpretation, assuming that I might have just missed that video, it means she rarely does it. Certainly none of her popular videos do it. I mean, at least the sugar baby I showed earlier did stuff for her partner. At least the girl who shopped all day cut fruit. Nadine is essentially saying that she is less than a sugar baby. And even if she doesn't act this way in her personal relationship and does reciprocate in some way, by always saying, me, online, she is teaching her viewers to be selfish and not engage in reciprocal relationships. Wait, sprinkle, sprinkle? Did that post just say sprinkle, sprinkle? Of course. Now everything makes sense. She listens to Shira.
Sprinkle, sprinkle.
For those of you who aren't familiar with Shira 7, allow me to show you the kind of advice that she gives to women.
Okay, so we're not going to sit here and pretend like I'm trying to teach women how to be the best type of wife. No, I'm not. In fact, if you watch this channel, you're probably not a good wife at all. And that's probably why you stay paid and probably still together. Good wives is left. Good wives become divorced wives. I'm not here for ethics, morals, and values, and karma, and all. I'm not here for that. I'm here to get you this bag and to keep you that bag.
Well, at least you can say that Shira is very honest about who she is, but that doesn't mean she gives moral advice, nor does it mean she gives advice that's not manipulative, nor does it mean she gives advice that's not abusive. I mean, Shira will actively tell women to sabotage the guys they're with so they can't leave them.
And don't try to fix these dudes up. Like, don't try to give them no makeover or nothing. Get their money and stop, because you're going to make them look too good and other women are going to take them. Let them look exactly how they looking. Don't even try to help them, girl. If stuff is mismatching, tell them to put some more colors on it, okay? Have them look like brown. Oh, no, I think you need to add some orange to that outfit. Something missing. Oh, no, you look good in bright orange. That's your color. Yes.
If you're set on giving your man bad fashion advice, then allow me to point out that people are very superficial in all areas, and making him look ugly will negatively affect his ability to get promotions or impress customers, which will result in him making less money to spoil you with. By the way, if you're a guy and you know nothing about fashion, then color theory and knowing what colors to wear is an easy place to start. If you want to learn more about color theory, then you can watch this video here, or you can just Google it. These days, fashion is very scientific, and people have pretty much figured out what looks good for every skin tone and body type. Oh, and also, I figured that this was worth mentioning because she is one of the most popular creators in this space. Guess who also listens to Shira?
Oh, and someone that's quite controversial, but I think she's so funny, Shiras 7. I used to listen to her so much when I was going through a heartbreak because she would make me laugh. And I think laughter is also something so good. And I think some things she said are actually really valid, and some women need to hear that and need to realize that. She says it in a very controversial way, but I think her main message is women should ask for more because they deserve more.
It's not controversial, it's sociopathic. She's telling women to manipulate, abuse, and cheat on men or be a homewrecker for money. Sure, Shira sometimes says things that are funny, but I would be very suspicious of a girl who listens to Shira unironically. So just remember that your self-help guru, the Wizard Liz, listens to a woman who literally encourages abusive relationships to extract resources out of a man. What a shock. Back to Nadine.
And now the guys are angry because now they have to step up or else they can't compete with the men who are able to do all of those things for her.
That's not why they're responding to you negatively. They're responding to you negatively because you're telling men to lower their standards while telling women to skyrocket their standards. It's hypocritical. It's also going to make a lot of women single and lower the quality of the dating pool by filling it with even more entitled chicks.
It's really sad to see that they resort to calling women ugly or children or hitting a wall or not understanding what her worth is if she doesn't clean or cook. Like, it's absolutely appalling.
Okay, but what is your worth? You said, yes, queen, to a comment stating that a man should have to provide all the money and also have to cook and clean, and he is just supposed to hope that you'll reciprocate? You are incredibly selfish. What value are you providing to the relationship when you expect them to do everything? The only thing she can really say she provides is companionship, which to an average guy, and I say average because she basically said that she was average, and if you're average, then you're worth an average guy. The average women she's speaking to aren't going to get millionaires, but to an average guy, companionship isn't worth much when he's working 16 hours a day so that she can sit on her ass all day and do hobbies. Being a companion is not stressful or difficult work, Plus, he's providing that to you as well, so what are you doing that's extra?
I'm convinced that these men are just too far gone. Just let them be. Don't even bother arguing with them because you're not going to see your point. Just let them stay single, be single, and not procreate.
Again, mathematically, if you're telling average girlies to go after 1% guys, then 99% of them are going to fail and be single. Or, if a disproportionate number of girls succeed at this, as in 5% of women are getting the 1% guys all at the same time, then it means that he's cheating on you with several other women. So you're either recommending a goal that will permanently make women single, or it will put them with guys who will cheat on them. Because you should be honestly asking yourself, if I don't do anything and my boyfriend or husband can get what I have from any other girl, then why is he with me? Then, what I think happens is that when valueless girls like this realize that their partner can have anyone, but they can't do the same, they start watching people like Shira and become controlling and abusive to keep their partners. From what I've seen from Nadine, it seems like she does that in her relationship.
I'm going to share with you guys how I pipped my boyfriend in real life. For those of you not in tech, PIP stands for Performance Improvement Plan, and it's what you get put on when they're about to fire you. So my boyfriend and I were having a lot of issues in the beginning, like a lot. So we had a shared note with daily and weekly tasks he needed to do and a set of things that he needed to work on. And it worked out really well. Like even now for our household chores, things that he's responsible for, we use a Kanban board. Like anything I need done, I just add it onto the Kanban board and he'll get it done.
Okay, but what do you do? What part of your performance have you improved? I've watched all of your popular videos with hundreds of thousands of views, as well as many of your normal videos, and I've yet to see you give any examples of what women should do to keep their man. It's all about what he should be doing for you. Like literally, if you want to stay permanently single or be in an abusive relationship, take Nadine's advice.
So I saw someone say that you can really tell how much a woman loves herself by the partner she chooses. I never understood this when I was younger, when the older, wiser girlies would tell me that I have to first give myself everything that I expect from a man. So if I wanted to be spoiled, I have to first spoil myself. I took spoiling myself and giving myself everything that I wanted to the next level and became a hyper independent girly. I could buy my own house. I took myself to nice spas. I took myself to really nice vacations. I had a great career. I could do everything on my own. Why did I need a man?
You would think that someone who is going on TikTok to give relationship advice to women would actually do some research on common issues that women have in the dating pool. A strong one being that women will pretty consistently price themselves out of the market by being high earners and then still expecting the man to make more than her. So if she makes $100K a year, then she wants a man who makes $200K a year. But if a man is making $200K a year, he has tons of options, and those guys typically don't want working women. I mean, if there is any proof that this girlie has no idea what she's talking about, then it's this statement here.
Y'all need to learn how to be selfish, because which selfish bitch do you know lives a bad life? No one. We've all had that one friend who likes to take the best piece of the cake with like the chocolate sprinkles on top without a second thought and without asking if anyone else wants it. Or that friend who picks the best bedroom at the Airbnb even though you booked the trip. Yeah, they're selfish and inconsiderate, but guess what? Who's living their best life? Who has the best slice of cake? Who's having the best night's rest at the Airbnb on vacation? They are. They want all the best things in life for themselves and they don't really give a shit about anyone else.
Actually, I've known lots of people who are hyper selfish that live bad lives. Because if they keep pulling that stuff, nobody will want to be friends with them. Sure, they might get the nice piece of cake, but have fun when things go bad and everyone is cheering for your demise instead of rushing to help you. So I don't know, maybe this girl is an adult who is still in high school, but generally, people who display that kind of psychopathy are hated by their community and eventually get shunned by it. However, people always want me to talk about red flags, so here's a big one that you can see in this type of content. And this is something that works in general. If someone is a good person and you do things for them, they will feel guilty if they don't return the favor. So if you're around a person who you provided a ton of things for and they in no way feel like they should return the favor, or at least make an effort to, then they are probably not a good person to be around. Of course, I'm not talking about purposefully doing things for people so they feel indebted to you as a way of manipulating them. That's just as bad. So the reverse is a red flag too, and each version of this can be used to identify a sociopath. But ultimately, a lot of what attracts women to this female dating strategy type content is reactions to double standards that men are giving in the manosphere. When you say things like, men can cheat but women can't, you are creating a double standard that justifies women doing bad things because you aren't being morally consistent. Real talk for a second though, I've met a number of people in the creator space and you would be shocked to find out how many of them are degenerates, narcissists, and sociopaths who have no business giving relationship advice. Some of them are more obvious, like Pearl Davis, who embodies literally none of the traits that she tells women to have in order to attract a man. And some of them are less obvious and are being exposed by all the infighting that's been going on in the anti-woke space. And it's to the extent that I think that maybe, and I say this as a person who often gives relationship advice on the internet, but maybe a decent alternative or a good supplement is for people to log off the internet, go find people who have the thing that you want, and ask them how they got it. I think you'll find better advice by doing that, instead of exclusively listening to people who often say things not to help you, but because it will get them views. Anyway, thanks for watching, follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you in the next video.